Hello, my name is Jian, and in 1966, an American woman named Diane Fossey went to Africa to do research on mountain gorillas. Despite the fact that she had no experience of formal training in studying them, 6 months later, eventually she was able to get within 30 feet of some of them, which enabled her to record their behavior in great detail. She feared that something terrible would happen to the gorillas unless they were better protected. One gorilla had been killed while defending his family against poachers. She organized security patrols to stop the poachers, offered money to anyone who captured one, and she even killed their cattle if they entered the national park and burned down their houses. I am disagree about this woman's action to poacher. Of course, it is wrong that poachers killing innocent animals. Also, I think we need to stop them kill animals. But I think she didn't protect the gorillas. She just did some terrible crimes. If someone in their house which she burned, that people will die. What if the cow she killed was someone's only livelihood? That people may die because she killed their cattle. She was angry about innocent animals got killed, but she killed innocent cows. Also, she gave huge damage to people who have a poacher family but didn't do anything. So I thought she is saying people who she thought discussed it.
Hi everyone, my name is Jiwon. The wave in that day was perfect for surfing, so Dave tried more than 10 times to stand up on his board, but he failed. Eventually, he felt he would never succeed. When he was about to give up, he looked at the sea once again, and the sea seemed to talk to him to try one more time. He thought that it was the last time, and with his board, he ran to the sea and waited for the timing. When the timing came, he did just like he practiced and the result was succeed. After that, he cheered, "Wow, I did it." I realized through this passage that whatever it is, if we didn't give up and keep trying, the good result comes to us someday. If I was in that situation, I would give up without doing the last try. But Dave did, so I think Dave is awesome. From now on, when I want to give up while I'm doing some works, although I will give up someday, I will always.
Most people can perform two different activities at once. For example, musicians can read music and play their instruments at the same time. They focus on visual information to read the music, and they produce a physical response to play it. It's because these tasks involve different kinds of concentration. So some people think that we can do two similar things at once, such as reading a book and having a conversation. Both rely on use of language, so we can only do one at a time. I have experiences like that. I can study while I listen to music because they are completely different tasks. But I can't do two similar things at once. When I do two similar things, I can't finish anything perfectly, so I agree with this writing.
Hello everyone, I'm Jimin. Psychologists conducted an experiment to find out the relationship between rewards and children's behavior. They selected a group of children from the age of 3 to 5 who were interested in drawing, and they then divided two children into 3 groups. If they spent their free time drawing, the children in Group A were awarded a certificate, and the children in Group B listened about the certificates but received one anyway if they chose to draw. Finally, the children in Group C were neither given nor taught about the certificates. 2 weeks after finishing the experiment, the psychologists found that the children in Group A had lost much of their interest in activity of drawing, while the children in the other two groups continued to draw enthusiastically. This phenomenon is known as the over-justification that occurs when the offer of a material reward actually reduces a person's intrinsic motivation to perform a task. I agree about this result. Of course, it has differences from person to person. However, excessive reward can cause children to lose their interest. Instead of material rewards, they should be allowed to enjoy themselves naturally.
Hi everyone, I'm Saya. Interest in AI has been rapidly expanding in recent years. A positive aspect of AI is that it gets rid of human error. However, a number of serious concerns have also arisen. Although AI can make logical decisions, there are some obvious limitations. But the biggest concern is ethics. Although AI makes our lives much easier, using it wisely and safety will require many regulations and restrictions. I agree with this. It's true that AI have many advantages, but there's also many problems such as copyright and decrease of the number of jobs. Because of this reason, we need AI regulation and controls.
Hello everyone, my name is Yubin. These days, the media seems to be overly dependent on opinion polls. These polls are good for ratings because people pay attention to their results, believing them to be scientific shortcuts to understanding the truth about an issue. The straightforward ratios and the percentages that polls produce seem to be reliable, precise, and objective. However, there are many potential pitfalls that can cause polls to be incorrect. Polls are likely to be biased, so you had better not believe them. I agree this opinion. There is no exact information on whether it was done biased or not manipulated, so it would be better not to believe it.
Hi everyone, my name is Susan. Actions that are meant to signal closeness in a relationship can sometimes seem intrusive if they are wanted. For example, a young woman who has just broken up with her boyfriend might turn to her mother, needing someone to talk to during a difficult time. Later, however, after the woman has gotten over her initial emotions, her mother may continue to ask her questions about her relationship. In the case of parents, they clearly want to express their concern about their children's lives and to show them that they care. But when the topic is raised by the parent and the children doesn't feel like talking about it, it can cause an uncomfortable situation that has the potential to damage the bond between parent and child. I agree in this situation. I also experienced that my parents intrusive personal things. I know that my parents just worry about me. It's true that it makes me feel bad. So I think that is natural.
Hi, my name is Park Da-sol. First, sleeping in an unfamiliar bed can be difficult. Second, this phenomenon is called first night effect. Third, right hemisphere sleeps deeply, but the left hemisphere does not. Fourth, because one of the roles of the left hemisphere is to stay alert when we find ourselves in a strange environment. Fifth, sometimes it can be advantageous, but it can be disadvantageous. My opinion, I agree with this other idea because I have many experiments called the first night effect. For example, when I go to my friend's home and sleep, I had enough sleep, but I was too sleepy. So I agree with the first night effect.
Hi everyone, I am Hedin. As a trees, we eventually outgrow the defenses that we develop to shield ourselves from certain unpleasant things in our lives. If we are not able to do this, we can't grow and realize our full potential. Our defenses allow us to heal ourselves during troubled times and prepare to face the world again. But once we have fully healed and are whole again, we must discard these barriers. Otherwise, we will never be able to experience the true pleasures of life. I agree about this idea because in our life we have a lot of barriers such as our parents. So when we want not to face the world more and more, at last we became people who are not able to experience anything. We must outgrow our barrier, then we would be a truly grown person.
Hello, my name is Hwagibin. Trees shed layers of their bark that once protect them. So we do. We have to outgrow our defenses to protect us from any unpleasant things in our lives, or we will fail to realize our full potential. Trees depend on their leaf bark. Likewise, our defenses prepare us to face the world again in difficult time. But we'll whole again, we have to discard these barriers, or we will never be able to experience the true pleasures of life. I agree with the writer's opinion. A difficult time comes at least once in our life. But as trees throw away their bark, we need to overcome ourselves, not rely on anything.
Hello, my name is Han. Psychologists conducted an experiment to find out the relationship between rivers and children's behavior. The children in Group A were promised that they would be awarded a certificate as a prize if they spent their free time during and in Group B. The children were not told about certificate but received if they drew. Finally, the children in Group C were neither given nor told about the certificate. What psychologists found was that the children in Group A had lost much of their interest in activity of drawing, while the children in the other two groups. This phenomenon is known as the overjustification. It occurs when the offer of a material reward actually reduces a person's intrinsic motivation to perform a task. Once the external factors are removed, the children's internal motivation fails to return, and they eventually lose interest in the activity. I don't agree with this research result. It depends on the person. I have been trying to win more and more awards. Of course, it was like that when I was a kid, so I don't agree it.
Hi everyone, I'm Changmin. A young boy had trouble controlling his temper, so his father made a plan. He would hammer a nail into the fence around their yard. But as he paid more attention to his temper, the number of nails he hammered began to decrease. He realized he had learned to control his temper. When all the nails were gone, his father brought him to the fence. It leaves scars that never go away. I agreed with his father's idea because sometimes I could control my temper when I have a problem. With his father's idea, I could control my temper I know how much I control my temper.
Hi, my name is Dong-wook. Sleeping in an unfamiliar bed can be difficult, and we are saying this first night effect. Researchers say this phenomenon is caused by a division in our brains, like the right hemisphere sleeps deeply but the left hemisphere does not. The reason of this imbalance is that one of the roles of the left hemisphere is to stay alert when we find ourselves in a strange environment. First night effect is a sort of built-in security guard working the night shift, and when we hear the silentest sound, we are wake up. While this mechanism was probably quite useful when our ancestors were sleeping in a jungle full of predators, it can be a real inconvenience when we spend the night in a hotel room or a friend's house. I agree with this other's claim because when I travel to somewhere and sleep at a hotel, I can sleep easily, so I will try to deal with first night effect and take a good sleep at strange environment.
Hello, my name is Song Jung-kyu. Sloths and the microbes that live on their fur are a win-win situation. Sloths are home to microbes which camouflage. Sloth researchers studied these microbes and found that some act as antibiotics. Some of these reduce the risk of breast cancer and malaria. So researchers are optimistic about the potential medical uses of this fungi. Before reading this writing, I accepted that and knew that microbes would only be used in vaccine and medicine. That after reading this writing, I was amazed to learn that microbes camouflage sloths.